Hey lovely humans, Lana here, I'm back. My laptop was non-functioning and that's how I edit all my videos. I say edit because I really do very, very minor edits on these. Yeah, it's back, it's up and running, and I can make content again, yay! So here I am. I have no idea if I'll be back at the frequency I was before, which was pretty much 2 weeks, or my gosh, 2 videos a week. And I don't know why I'm choosing right now to do my first video. Just woke up, I've got crazy sock curler hair. But I came home yesterday from work and it was my last day in office and it kind of felt like a Friday before the holidays, for the Christmas holidays. And I'd had some really good conversations with people at work, and I just was feeling all the feels. And one of the conversations I had was a coffee chat with a colleague who's moving on to a new role, and she's a little bit older than me, but still pretty young in the profession that I'm in. And she had some really good advice, and just left me feeling inspired. And yeah, just women. This is what happens when we get together and we talk. I just love it. So 2 pieces of advice. I'm going to keep it brief. Brief for Lana. The first piece of advice she gave me was, don't make a long-term decision based on like temporary or short-term circumstance. And what she meant by this was like, if, for example, I wanted to apply to a new job, but I was worried that it would be too much with my part-time studies that I know are going to be intense for the next 4 months. I could be making a multi-year, and great career move decision based on 4 months of pain, 4 months of stress, and just, managing a little bit more than I maybe would like. And, that's not to say that you should take that job or you shouldn't take that job, but I guess it's something you have to reconcile. Like, am I willing to be a little uncomfortable for 4 months or am I not? And that answer will be different for everybody. But I think sometimes I'm too good at trying to like manage my time and life, and kind of try and foresee and anticipate like, that I don't want to have too much on my plate. Like, how am I going to manage that? And sometimes you won't know exactly, because it's a big leap and it makes you a little bit scared and nervous, and it is a stretch. And the learning and the growth happens in just figuring it out and making it work. And if it doesn't, luckily, most decisions are fairly reversible in that way. Like, I could take one less course, or I could pause my master's while I get acclimated to the new role. Or, I don't know, there's options at least, or you scale back other parts of your life, whatever. So I thought that was helpful, especially for someone that can kind of, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome in this case, but I guess just get overwhelmed and worried that I'm not going to be able to handle it. Which is so dumb because, anyway, have faith in yourself. And then the second piece of advice was kind of similar in that, like, when considering a new move in your life and in your career, don't use your baby as an excuse not to do the thing. Otherwise, if you do, you are creating the opportunity for yourself to potentially resent your child or your role as a mother. And like a dude would most likely not even consider the fact that they are a dad and their child in making a career decision. And that's not to say just because men don't do that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be intentional and considerate. But I don't know, when it was put so plainly like that, I was like, oh, yeah, like, as long as you don't make it an excuse, it won't be. I mean, she's a new mom, so, I mean, who knows down the line, like, it's not going to be a perfect demonstration of this at all times, but yeah, because resentment is one of those things that I think I worry about when I think about, do I want to have kids or not, and I guess that only really happens if you start making decisions for other people or based on other people, decisions about yourself and your life and your happiness. And now I feel like I'm going on a whole tangent, but this makes me think of a reel that I saw the other day about parenting in a kind of more decentering the kid approach, where the household and the activities and whatever don't revolve around your child, making the children kind of just like fit into your life and what needs to happen in the household. And I think maybe that's a way again where you can kind of, I don't know, encourage not saying no to stuff that you would otherwise enjoy or need to do just because you have a child. Because again, if you did that in a partnership, like in a romantic relationship, and stopped doing your hobbies and stopped seeing your friends and whatever, you would probably grow to resent your partner because you'd feel like they were like holding you back, or, you know, that you've changed so much that you're no longer you, and new things in your life, new roles like becoming a parent are going to change you, and that's a good thing. Like, you should be changed, but to completely alter your identity and like stop doing all the things that help you like take care of yourself and like enjoy life is not typically a bad sign. And so I thought that was really helpful. It was like, again, because I think there's so much fear that I feel sometimes about like, how will I do it all? How would I do it all? I'm gonna have, and there's this just, I guess, sense that like I'm gonna have to say no to things. I'm gonna have to give up a bunch and sacrifice a bunch. And I don't know if I would like that and can reconcile that and not grow to resent my child, even though it was my decision to have them. And I mean, yeah, she just made the answer feel so simple in that, like, then just don't. Like, just find a way to keep doing those things that you love. And maybe it's not in the same scale, but don't make your child the excuse. And again, I know this could be, you know, a bit of a privileged perspective depending on what your situation is in your support system, which is again another thing what I've been thinking about a lot. Like, how do you grow that support system? But yeah, I don't know, lots of ponderings. I can't believe I said in my first video back, I'll keep this short because that was a complete lie, very classic Lana. Hope you enjoyed this rambly video, some of my thoughts. I was thinking about this morning why I make these videos, and I think a lot of it is just like advice for myself. I'm like, I want to note this down, and I like to verbally process, and so this is like my way of archiving thoughts that I had. And I very rarely go back and watch videos, but sometimes I do, and it's cool to see what I was thinking about and cared about at that time of my life. And a lot of times I'm like, damn, that's good advice. I should really take that. And then I'm reminded of things. And I don't know, maybe one day if I have a child, they'll want to like subscribe to their mom's YouTube channel and see like what kind of a young adult she was and how she grew up and, I don't know, thought about the world. Be kind of interesting. Knowing children, they'd be like, that's really lame. No. But, so yeah, just a time capsule for myself. And if I can, I don't know, help somebody along the way of figuring life out, that's great. And I love that. I love that for me. And I think it just makes all the bumps along the way, of life a little bit more worthwhile when you can share that with other people. Yeah. Okay, signing off. Great to be back. I didn't know how I'd feel at first getting in front of the camera. I was like, oh, haven't done this in a while. And now I'm just like, I don't want to shut up. So there will be more. I'll see you in the next one. And if it's not before the new year, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, however you celebrate, and that you can go into 2026 with the energy that you want. Yeah. Take the time to reflect. Okay. Goodbye. See you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.